Atlantic Coast Wrestling. And Joe, we got a wild one coming up.
I tell you, the past 3 weeks on Atlantic Coast Wrestling have proven that this is the best new area in the country today. And tonight, to this hour, it will go even further to show that. The top stars around the wrestling world will be here, including Carolina's favorite sons, the Rock and Roll Express.
Fans, you're going to be seeing some of the top teams in pro wrestling. The Mod Squad, Scott Armstrong, Mitch Snow, and the world's junior heavyweight champion in the ring, Nelson Royal. The match is underway. Let's go to ringside for our first match.
Nelson Royal was having his problems in the ring as Bob Emery wasn't going to stand around waiting, and he attacks Nelson Royal. And now I have a feeling that the junior heavyweight champion may just make Bob Emery pay for that move.
Could be a tactical mistake on the part of this young man. You know, I can understand his eagerness and his anticipation. Not every day a young wrestler gets a chance to step in the ring with a junior heavyweight champion of the world.
Well, that's true, but I will say this. If I were Bob Emery, I think I might have thought of a different tactic than attacking him before the match actually started.
He may be having second thoughts about it right now. Royal with the side headlock. Referee Sal Correnti calling for the break. Emery didn't want to back up.
You know what aggravates me? We didn't get a chance to see Shasha because of the way this happened. Now, this beautiful young woman is at ringside with Nelson Royal, and we usually get a chance to see her up in the ring and see the outfit she's wearing and that gorgeous lady, and we didn't get a chance to do that tonight because of Bob Emery.
Nelson Royal sending Bob Emery into the ropes. He caught him with a short knee, and Royal, one of the most tremendous tactical wrestlers in the sport, moves right into the spinning toe hold. The trademark of Nelson Royal. We've got a submission and a win for the world's junior heavyweight champion.
He's making him pay just that little extra bit. And there we see Shasha. We're getting to see a little extra there. And Nelson Royal, of course. And Nelson Royal takes that match using the spinning toe hold. And let's go back now and take a look at the trademark of the junior heavyweight champion in Nelson Royal. We'll go back and take a look at the replay, and as you can see, that spinning toe hold has done the job on Bob Emery. Emery down and hurt. And right now, we are going to be going to Rick Stewart, who is standing by with Todd Champion and one of the other stars here on ACW Wrestling.
There's only one gene endorsed by the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. Wrangler Cowboy Cut Jeans.
From Oakdale, California, Ted Noose.
Professional or a weekend cowboy, Nelson Royal's official Wrangler PRCA Pro Rodeo dealer has the duds to fit you and the horse you rode in on.
We pledged our allegiance to it when we were young.
The flag was still there.
We studied its importance when we were in our teens.
Fans, all this hour we've been talking about tag teams. We've got a tremendous one right here with Jammin' Mitch Snow and Scott Armstrong. But Scott, just a couple of seconds ago, I heard what amounted to an open challenge to you from the world's junior heavyweight champion, Nelson Royal.
Well, you know, Mr. Royal and myself go back a real long way. As a matter of fact, last June, I suffered a broken ankle due to Mr. Nelson Royal. I was wrestling for the world junior heavyweight title in. Well, brother, I want to let you know one thing. I'm not giving up. I'm still coming at you, and I'm still coming after that belt. I still want to tag team with my main man, Jammin' Mitch Snow, but I definitely want a shot at that world junior title.
Mitch, looking forward to seeing you two together in the ring.
That's right, Rick. I'm not going to stand in my partner's way if he wants to go up that world junior weight heavyweight champion. But if me and Scott Armstrong, the super kick man, get together, and we're a tag team, I don't care who it is, Deaton Brothers, Mod Squad, Nelson Royal, it doesn't matter. We're going to rise up to the top, climb that ladder, Rick Stewart, and we're not going to do nothing but beat people on the way.
Fans, be looking for these two, Mitch Snow and Scott Armstrong, as they team up. We've got a great match standing by in the ring. Right now, let's go to Joe Pedicino at ringside for all the action.
All right, thank you very much, Rick. And yes, we do have a great one. It's Tommy Angel and Todd Champion taking on the team of L.A. Stevens and George South. This one should be quite a match. And Rick, I think we're just about ready to go. You know, we were talking about tag team action, and here we go again.
For these to as they came out of the dressing room for Tommy Angel and Todd Champion. I've had a chance to watch Todd since virtually his start in pro wrestling. He's the former Los Angeles football star. He made quite a name for himself in pro football, but now he's at that difficult phase. He's gone from pro football to pro wrestling and done quite well. Now he's going from rookie to established star status.
More will be expected of him.
Yeah, he's got to make his mark now to become one of the driving forces in pro wrestling.
You know, there have been many football players down throughout the years that have come into pro wrestling. Some have done very well, and to be honest, some haven't. Some have needed that team support, and others haven't. And right now, Todd Champion, as you said, is trying to make his mark and prove that he is going to be one of the top men in the wrestling business.
Well, by and large, wrestling, whether amateur or pro, has always been an individual sport. Tag teams or tag teams. But basically, when you get inside that ring, it's one-on-one, brain against brain, muscle against muscle. And certainly, you see Tommy Angel here bearing down with that long wrist lock on L.A. Stevens. For them to put together a successful team, they've got to learn to work together. They've done that. I've seen them do it in the last couple of weeks. Now, they better get on the winning track, come up with some big wins to get the big money matches against the established stars.
That's right. They have only now begun to show the people here in the ACW that they are a team, that they think as a team and act as a team. And as you said, they are going to have to show themselves here on television in matches like this against L.A. Stevens and George South and prove to the wrestling fans and to the other wrestlers that they are a team to be reckoned with if they're going to be going after championships and after the top money.
Good move by L.A. Stevens, but Tommy Angel, thinking one step ahead, managed to reverse again into a hammerlock of his own. And look at the expression of concentration on the face of Tommy Angel. I think that's what's going to take this guy to the top. Tremendous dedication and tremendous concentration inside the ring.
Well, you know, the word that I hear in the dressing rooms around the ACW is that this team has one advantage, and that is that not only are they both very athletic, very good wrestlers, but they're both very intelligent. They're both very smart wrestlers.
By and large, you know, as the years go by, more and more professional wrestlers, like any other professional sport, are college graduates. And Todd played his way through college and on into the pro ranks. Got a brain as well as brawn, and that certainly helps a lot.
And these two fellows, Tommy Angel and Todd Champion, seem to use those brains in the ring and wrestle not only with their brawn, but with their brains. And right now we're seeing L.A. Stevens, good move, nowhere near ready to pin Todd Champion. I think that was a little bit early to go after an attempt to a pin. And now we're seeing a good move by George South, but still Todd Champion, with the strength he's got in those legs, I'm not sure you could ever pin him like that.
I don't know. George South has got a lot of experience in this sport. He spent a lot of time in tag team situations, whether as a fan favorite or someone who the fans don't respect quite as much. He's a dangerous young man, and even though Todd's bigger than he is, George South may have just a tiny edge in experience. He's going to be a big stumbling block if they let it happen to the team of Tommy Angel and Todd Champion.
The height right now that Todd Champion has on George South,
that's got to kind of nullify some of that top wrist lock that South is putting on.
It's going to be hard for South, well, as we're seeing right now. It's going to be hard for South to hold on to a hole like that.
Hard to get leverage on a guy that's that tall.
I noticed in the interviews that you've done with Todd South, he sort of towers over us, doesn't he?
He towers over everybody. At 6'6", 285, this is no small man. Champion using his own body for leverage. Now, see, left arm of George South.
Here's an example of what we're talking arms for leverage. He turns it around so that his entire body is being used as leverage on the arm of George South. And when you're the size of Todd Champion, that's a lot of leverage.
Better believe it. Still to come this hour, we're going to be taking a look at Mitch Snow, Scott Armstrong, the Rock and Roll Express, as well as Pretty Boy Doug Summers, and a host of your other favorites here on Atlantic Coast Wrestling. Listen to this crowd. They're solidly behind Champion and Tommy Angel.
That's right. And George South with a shortcut now, a legal one.
He's a dangerous man, Joe.
Right.
Dangerous man.
Uses the knee. Champion comes off, levels South. South goes down, comes up, tries an elbow, but misses. Todd Champion grabs the arm and brings it right back down again. South out out of frustration, pops right back up. But I don't think he knows exactly how to handle Todd Champion.
For a man of Todd's size at 285, he moves with the agility of a junior heavyweight. Somebody clocks in about 225. That's got to stand him in good stead. A lot of the larger wrestlers may be a little bit slower than some of their counterparts. Not so with Todd Champion. He's got the mobility to get around the ring, and that's going to be a problem to anybody in there against him.
Well, right now, he is staying on the arm of George South, and they have really been working on George South's arm. And I'm sure that he's following the age-old adage that if you can take down an arm or a leg, you can take down the man. And right now, Tommy Angel back in, and whoa, they have got, look how they've got that arm twisted. And look, you can see the welts and the discoloration on George South's arm, where they have been constantly working on this arm for several minutes now.
Angel cinching up on the arm bar on George South. I've been hearing a lot of verbal confrontations this hour between Nelson Royal, World Junior Heavyweight Champion, and Scott Armstrong.
Well,
Nelson's had his piece. Scott's had his piece. I'm interested to see where this is going to lead.
You know,
they've had problems before.
I was just going to say, we're very much aware, of course, that Scott Armstrong and Nelson Royal have had some problems before. And as Scott told us, he was injured at the hands of Nelson Royal. And I'm also looking forward to seeing where that goes. Right now, whoa!
Tommy Angel catching George South with a shoulder tackle up and over his man. South misses Angel up with a body press. A count of one, but Tommy Angel is definitely turning this match in the favor of the team of Angel and Champion this hour on Atlantic Coast Wrestling.
You know, the frustration level of George South right now, Rick, must be extremely high.
Got to be about a 9.5.
It seems like everything he tries with this team of Todd Champion and Tommy Angel has just out and out backfired. And it seems to me that for the past 4 or 5 minutes, we've seen that arm wrapped up one way or another.
Fans coming up a little bit later this hour. We're going to give you exact details about where you can see your favorite stars from Atlantic Coast Wrestling. And if you've got a club or a civic organization, coming up a little bit later in the hour, we'll give you an address and a phone number that you can write to about how to make Atlantic Coast Wrestling a partners with your civic club as a fundraiser in the weeks and months to come.
What a great way, too, to raise funds. Right now, Todd Champion. Now, L.A. Stevens has come back in, and last time he was in, he tried throwing Todd Champion around. This time, it looks like they have decided that it might be a little bit better to take the big man down to the mat and try and wear him down. And right now that we see that's what he's attempting to do, wear the man down.
He's hanging on to that rear chin lock for all he's worth. Tommy Angel cheering his partner on. One thing you learn in pro ball, though, is how to suck up that punishment and keep on coming. And wrestling, probably the most physical sport there is, certainly no different. Champion reversed in, short knee, looked like it could have been a little low, followed by a snap mare.
Right back down to the mat.
Keeping control of Todd Champion, trying to keep the guy down on the mat to nullify that height and that weight advantage that Champion's got on him.
They drive Champion now back into the corner. Another tag is made. Here comes George South. And once again, George South takes Champion down to the mat. And as we said, Rick, it looks like they, at halftime, you might say, changed strategies. Looks like they've decided the best way to do it is to keep the man down on the mat, go after him.
Whoa, man!
Not quite like that.
Right into the knee. A Todd Champion. It's the tag to Tommy Angel. And Angel starts off strong. South up
into the lights, Rick Stewart. South comes back with a foot. Now Angel turns him, throws him in, goes down, comes up, goes over the man.
Look at this guy fly.
Belly to back suplex on George South. That's it. That is it. That is it. What a great finish to that match. A belly to back suplex. And we see a great team, as we saw there, with the team of Todd Champion and Tommy Angel. This has been a great match. Right now, we've got standing by once again, Rick Stewart.
There's only one gene endorsed by the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. Wrangler Cowboy Cut Jeans.
From Oakdale, California, Ted Deuce.
Professional or a weekend cowboy, Nelson Royal's official Wrangler PRCA Pro Rodeo dealer has the duds to fit you and the horse you rode in on.
Earthquakes, floods, and mudslides. Drought, famine, and endless fighting. Children dying before they're 5 years old. Poverty that traps young and old alike. The need is so great in Africa, Asia, and Latin America, you may think that any help you could give would be just a drop in the bucket. But each drop can make a ripple of hope. Lutheran World Relief has shown that by working together we can save lives. By sharing our knowledge and resources, we can help people to overcome their poverty, grow more food, improve health care. We can help people use their land more effectively while preserving forests and other natural resources. And we can work together with them as they build new lives for themselves and their communities. Yes, a drop in the bucket can make a big difference. If enough of us put a drop in the bucket, it will overflow. A message from the Lutheran churches in your community and Lutheran World Relief.
Come fish with us in the 14th annual Arthur Smith Johnson King Mackerel Tournament. More than 50 winners this year. The purse, more than $400,000. The dates, August 22nd through the 25th. We'll fish out of Little River, Merrill's Inlet, Georgetown, and we've added Lockwood Folly this year. For complete information, write me. Box 3113, North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, 29582. Or call us at 803-249-1523.
When I grow up, I want to be a track star.
No one ever says, I want to be a junkie when I grow up.
I want to be a ballerina.
Yet thousands of kids let getting high make a mess of their lives.
I want to be a nurse.
Don't let drugs get in the way of your dreams.
From the days of old California comes a man of justice.
What kind of men are you? Taking advantage of women.
A man of the arts.
County's taste in art is truly deplorable.
A man of romance.
Till we meet again.
And a hero for all time. Zorro, the legend continues. Fridays at 6 and 11 and weekends at 6:30. Only on the Family Channel.
Talking about a man being electrocuted on national television, Governor.
What if your shot wasn't the one that killed him? What do you want?
We want to save Raymond Ames.
This is cruel and unusual punishment.
Bonnie Bedelia and Roy Scheider trying to beat the odds to save a condemned man.
Call Judge Landis, please. I will not call. You have to.
The HBO original movie, Somebody Has to Shoot the Picture. This month.
This week, we're on the court, on the gridiron, and have Mel and Danny, too. It's the men's and women's quarterfinals of the U.S. Open on USA. TNT ignites an NFL weekend with the Eagles against the Giants. And HBO's got the dynamite hit you might have missed.
I got a bad reputation. I mean, sometimes I just go nuts like now.
Lethal Weapon 2. What a week to watch cable.
Look at all the things we are.
On Cablevision.
Welcome back to Atlantic Coast Wrestling as Rick Gibson set to take on Mark Brown. Rick Gibson, of course, the brother of Robert Gibson of the Rock and Roll Express. And for you fans of wrestling history, you'll know that Rick Gibson was one of the instrumental keys in starting the Rock and Roll Express several years ago.
That's right. He brought the two together.
Not to mention that he's from my hometown.
Oh, really? Where's that?
Oh, it's Florida.
Oh, all right. As I think a lot of people are very aware, Rick Gibson is back in wrestling after a while. We've seen him for the past few weeks here on Atlantic Coast Wrestling. And we look forward to another great match from Rick Gibson against young Mark Brown. I'm not too familiar with Mark Brown. Rick?
Well, he's got his hands full against one of the great veterans of our sport. Rick Gibson has met and defeated some of the greatest stars in pro wrestling. And he is certainly, I was talking to him back in the dressing room before this hour started. He's got a lot of points to make to a lot of different people around here. Some old grievances and some new ones that have come up. And I think he may be making an example of Mr. Brown, shooting in with that half Nelson, just grinding his face into the mat. Look at the way Gibson weight, his own leverage to put even more strain and stress on young Mark Brown. He's certainly not in any kind of a comfortable situation.
Well, you know, he told me earlier tonight back in the dressing room that there were a lot of people who had been giving him a hard time the past few weeks about coming back into wrestling, especially here in the Carolinas, and that he honestly was not aware that he was going to have the scores to settle that are out there. But it seems like there are some people out there who don't want Rick Gibson back.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I've seen Rick Gibson in a lot of situations and in a lot of different match opportunities. And if somebody is looking for some trouble, Rick Gibson is just the guy that can handle them and hand them everything they want, maybe a little bit more to boot.
The man is a master technician in the ring.
Short suplex, floats over, count of 2, but I don't believe that Mark Brown powered out of this one. Maybe Rick Gibson decided he just didn't want to put him away.
Brought him up a little bit. Have you noticed that since the match started, there probably hasn't been more than 3 or 4 seconds that Rick Gibson didn't have his hands on Mark Brown in some way?
He's a
consummate chain wrestler.
There you go, and he's very fluid. There's no wasted motion in Rick Gibson. He's been around this sport and been successful in this sport long enough to know just exactly what to do. Brown catches him 1, count of 2, and almost pulled the upset of the week.
That's right. I think Rick Gibson was caught by surprise. I don't know how often that's going to happen.
Not very often. If I know Rick Gibson, he's there with the knee. Brown down on the canvas, and Rick Gibson moving into the Gibson leg lock. Nobody gets out of this, brother.
And look at that bridge. That's it. All right. What a beautiful finish there. And let's take a look, as a matter of fact, of that replay. And, whoa, what a great move. And as you see, he's got him. He brings him back. And look at the bridge here. Absolutely no way out for Mark Brown. And the winner of the match is Ricky Gibson here on ACW.
Thanks for recycling.
You're welcome. Yeah, I recycle. Brought in a bunch of aluminum cans, even some foil and some old lawn chairs. You know, most people don't realize all the things aluminum recycling can do for us. Money? Hey, sure, that's great. But it also conserves energy and natural resources, helps the environment, and saves landfill space. That's a real plus nowadays. Do your part. Recycle aluminum.
For an aluminum recycling center near you, call toll-free 1-800-228-2525.
Coming to cable for a Family Channel showdown.
You have heard the truth.
That's right. Beginning September 3rd, it's a rootin' tootin' ruckus, a guaranteed grin.
If you get out of this alive, I'll have to take you in.
Look at all the frontier fun we are.
Looks like things turned out just the way you figured.
Saddle up for the Family Channel's Western Week, September 3rd.
Look at all the things we are.
On Cablevision.
In September, see over 150 movies on Cinemax.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Cinemax. More movies, more choice. Get it in September. Call now.
Today, thanks to the miracle of medicine and the gift of a stranger, these children have been saved through a bone marrow transplant. But so many people are on waiting lists, hoping and praying someone will donate marrow that matches their own. Not everyone can be a donor, but if you are one of those very special people, please volunteer today. To give your marrow is to give the gift of life.
I'm Morris Jones.
And I'm Doug McConnell. On September 9th, join us for a high-tech treasure hunt.
133 years ago, the SS Central America went down in a hurricane. Its cargo, 3 tons of gold, presumed lost forever.
Now, modern technology has uncovered the sunken treasure, and you'll be there when the recovery begins.
And we'll look back to the era when the Central America met its fate.
Treasures of a Lost Voyage, September 9th at 9 Eastern, only on the Discovery Channel.
Welcome back to Atlantic Coast Wrestling. We're set to see a tremendous confrontation between the veteran Gene Ligon and one of the most up-and-coming young stars in pro wrestling, Jammin' Mitch Snow.
All right, there you hear the music, and that means that any second now, we should be seeing Jammin' Mitch Snow on his way to the ring, and the fans are anxiously looking for it, and here he comes. This should be quite a match, Rick Stewart, as Jammin' Mitch Snow goes into the ring, and Gene Ligon waiting for what could be a very important match. And of course, a lot of things going on here in ACW as Gene Ligon gets ready for the match. And it's great to be here in Taylorsville, North Carolina, the hometown of race car driver Harry Gant, one of the top race car drivers from right here in Taylorsville. And a great wrestling community. I know this has been a great wrestling town for many years, Rick.
Fans, Gene Ligon, the veteran, in against Mitch Snow, rising young star. Ligon goes behind. He keeps the waist locked. Snow with a standing switch now. I think we're going to see a classic wrestling confrontation. Gene Ligon, an extensive amateur background, probably one of the better amateur-style wrestlers here tonight. Maybe underestimated Mitch Snow just a touch.
Well, Mitch Snow won't let that last for long. They don't call him Jamming Mitch Snow for nothing, you know, Rick. The man is lightning quick. And it looks like maybe Ligon is aware of that as he has decided to go after the legs of Mitch Snow.
Snow kicking out of the toe hold, and Ligon looks a little bit frustrated. These two have met before in different arenas around the country, so certainly Ligon's not under any idea that Mitch Snow is going to be an easy match.
Right, absolutely. Mitch Snow's reputation around the country has been growing in leaps and bounds, not only with the young ladies, we might add, but also with all the wrestling fans. And I understand, look at this. Well, there's an example of wine.
Snow, beautiful, blocking the hip toss, coming up with one.
Another beautiful flying drop kick. What is this, Rick?
I don't know. Pretty boy Doug Summers has come out of the back. He's having some kind of conference with Gene Ligon here at ringside. And if I know Doug Summers, this could turn into 2-on-1 real quick.
Yeah, Mitch Snow better be very, very careful. And right there's an example. Now, Summers didn't get in the ring, but he distracted Mitch Snow and allowed Ligon to come in from behind, and now the upper hand goes to Ligon.
All it takes is just a second as Snow's fired into the ropes. Ligon all over his man. Lateral press. Count of 2, and he almost put Mitch Snow away.
Right now, as we said, the upper hand to Gene Ligon, but you have to feel that it was because of that advantage of Doug Summers coming down to ringside and distracting Snow. It's been all Gene Ligon ever since that happened.
Snow blocking the hip toss, comes up with one of his own. Looked like he was going to drop an elbow on Ligon, thought better of it, nailed him with one on his own.
All right, look at this.
Anytime you've got pretty boy Doug Summers anywhere around a wrestling match he's not directly involved in, you better count on the fact that he's going to involve himself in it somehow.
Well, right there, he literally put Gene Ligon's foot over the rope. And now, look at this now. If we can, let's get a camera on the other side of the ring. Mitch Snow is talking to Scott Armstrong. Scott Armstrong has come down to ringside.
Well, that'll even things up a little bit. At least it won't be 2-on-1 anymore.
That's right. Now, in the ring, the referee tried to tell Scott Armstrong that he's got to stay over. Oh, look at
Mitch Snow caught from behind by pretty boy Doug Summers. Scott Armstrong not having any of this.
exactly the kind of thing I would expect from Pretty Boy Doug Summers. He took and tripped Mitch Snow just now as Snow was coming down. And now look at him. He's standing up. I don't know why the referee doesn't just make this a tag match. I mean, to me, well, now, wait a minute.
Anyway, as Summers comes in the ring, we got 4 guys.
All right.
Now, this is going to be the referee's call. He's the only one that can sanction it and change the match from singles to tag.
I think that's what he's done, Rick.
Looks like it's all right with him.
All right, we're going to look at this, and we've got Scott Armstrong and Doug Summers in the ring now, legitimately, and it will be a 2-on-2, and maybe we'll have a fair match.
Armstrong waiting on Doug Summers. Gets it twice, 3 times. And super kick. Showing his style, driving Doug Summers to the floor. If this is what Doug Summers had originally envisioned when he came out of the dressing room, I think it ain't quite working out the way he had it.
I think Doug Summers is anxious to get back and away, Rick. And right now, he tags Gene Ligon. Ligon comes in, immediately taken down. Scott makes the tag and brings in Mitch Snow. And look at the teamwork now we're seeing between these two men. Obviously, these two men have worked out before. They've teamed before. Doug Summers just may have bitten off a lot more than he can chew in this tag match.
Mitch Snow and Scott Armstrong are definitely planning on trying to make a name for themselves. In the matches that I've seen them in the arenas, they have been doing it in very, very high confidence style. By the way, fans, if you have got a civic club or a non-profit organization and you'd like to be a part of Atlantic Coast Wrestling, it's very easy to do. All you have to do is write to us at Crown Promotions, Post Office Box 1251, Mooresville, North Carolina, 28115, or you can call the representative of ACW at area code 704-664-9770, and the agent on duty will be more than glad to give you all the details about how you can be a part of the excitement of Atlantic Coast Wrestling to raise money for your non-profit organization.
All right, we're seeing the teamwork, as we said, between Scott Armstrong and Mitch Snow. These two have been teaming up, and they have done quite a good job. What an unusual situation, Rick, to start off in a singles match, have Doug Summers come down and try to, I won't say interfere, I'll say interrupt.
Yeah.
And Scott Armstrong comes out, tries to make things even. The referee just says, finally, look.
There's a good judgment call on the referee.
I agree.
If he hadn't have done it, he'd have had all 4 guys out there anyway, and no way he can keep his eyes on all that.
Absolutely.
Best thing to do is get them all 4 in the ring where he can at least try to keep an eye on everybody.
And he at least has jurisdiction over him.
There you go. There you go. Doug Summers, an incredibly brutal wrestler when he's got the advantage, is certainly taking it on Mitch Snow right now. Summers is deceptively strong. He'll come with those short punches. A lot of guys in the dressing room tell me, even though it only travels about 4 or 5 inches, it'll knock you into next week.
That's right. And, you know, he's a former, of course, World Tag Team Champion.
Yes.
The man has a worldwide reputation. He's very well known in Japan. The tapes and the word we get from the Orient and from Europe, Doug Summers is extremely well known. And look at this. That's why right there.
We've seen Doug in tag team action in weeks past here on Atlantic Coast Wrestling, and certainly he and Gene Ligon are acquitting themselves quite well against the dynamic young team of Armstrong and Snow, especially as they distract the referee again, baiting Scott Armstrong to come on in the ring, knowing that the referee is duty-bound to try to put Scott out.
And look now how they're tying Mitch Snow up into the corner. And this is where you see somebody like Summers do his dirty work.
Classic Doug Summers kind of tactic.
Right now, Snow is down. Tag goes out to Gene Ligon. Ligon comes in the ring. I would say that Mitch Snow needs to get over to his partner, Scott Armstrong. He's been in that corner for several minutes now, and when you've got the likes of Gene Ligon and Doug Summers working you over, especially with those 2-on-1s, it's going to wear you down, and that's exactly what's happened to Mitch Snow.
Ligon continuing to hammer away. Snow catches him with a short elbow, up with the drop kick, and Snow trying to get his wits about him, finally makes the tag to Scott Armstrong.
Oh, now look at Scott Armstrong. Determination.
Has got an explosive capacity that seems to be the birthright of the Armstrongs, whether it's Bullet Bob or Brad or Steve or Scott, they've all got an explosive interior, kind of like a volcano. You push them so far, and you better watch out, pal.
All right, Gene Ligon almost had his head torn off. That flying drop kick right into the chin. Now a tag is made. Ligon goes into the ropes, comes off, big backdrop. In the meantime, where is Mitch Snow? He's up on the top rope.
Diving for Ligon. Ligon caught. Sunset flip off the top, and that's it.
All right, it started out as a singles match, ended up as a tag team, but either way, Mitch Snow gets his hand raised in victory, and the team of Scott Armstrong and Mitch Snow. Let's go back and see if we can take a look at that beautiful leap off the top rope. He goes all the way over now. Ligon tries to duck out of the way. Seeing that, here comes. And he rolls him all the way over. Mitch Snow's got him, and now he's going to lock him down. And there will be the 3 count, and the victory will go to the team of Scott Armstrong and Mitch Snow.
There's only one gene endorsed by the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. Wrangler Cowboy Cut Jeans.
Professional or a weekend cowboy, Nelson Royal's official Wrangler PRCA Pro Rodeo dealer has the duds to fit you and the horse you rode in on.
Come fish with us in the 14th annual Arthur Smith Johnson King Mackerel Tournament. More than 50 winners this year. The purse, more than $400,000. The dates, August 22nd through the 25th. We'll fish out of Little River, Merrill's Inlet, Georgetown, and we've added Lockwood Folly this year. For complete information, write me. Box 3113, North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, 29582. Or call us at 803-249-1523.
This company needs quick decisions. So does yours. This company needs leaders. So does yours. This company needs well-trained people. So does yours. So when this company needs to borrow people from your company,
Come on, man, move it on. Let's go, let's go.
remember, they'll always come back better than they were before.
Hey, Bill, could we get your approval on this?
Be a hero. Give your employees the freedom to protect ours.
Cable just keeps getting better with new original movies exclusive to you. Smashing Sports. The only 24-hour international news source.
Here's what's happening.
The best shows for kids and the kid in you. Plus the brand new big screen blockbusters.
I'm back!
It's what sets you apart from the rest because you've got the best. Cable.
Look at all the things we are.
On Cablevision.
It's simply the best summer ever for movies on HBO. Tension mounts for Donald Sutherland, Susan Sarandon, Jürgen Prochnow, and Marlon Brando. A dry, white season. Jennifer Grey, Forrest Whitaker. Nothing cuts deeper than the HBO original movie, Criminal Justice. Michael J. Fox, Sean Penn. A Brian De Palma film remembers the horrifying casualties of war. It's simply the best movies on HBO.
If the big one keeps getting away, if you want new tips and more effective techniques from top guides and fishing professionals, then catch Fishing the West this season. Each week we'll take you to the best sport fishing waters in some of the world's most magnificent locations. We'll go after salmon, trout, sailfish, bass, tarpon, northern pike, steelhead, and many more. If you can't be there yourself, then join us for the fast action on Fishing the West.
Feel like mixing it up? Take 2 lawmen, one a by-the-book Mountie,
Canadian government will decide his punishment. I'm taking him to Fort McLeod.
the other a seat-of-the-pants marshal.
These men are wanted in the United States, and I've aimed to get them.
Add in a doctor who's as bright as she is beautiful.
They'll need curious time and rest.
Stir in a town just begging to be tamed.
Shoot us all, Marshal.
And you've got the recipe for an adventure that can only be found in Fordertown. Fridays at 11:30 and weekends at 6, only on the Family Channel.
Fans, welcome back to Atlantic Coast Wrestling as John Savage and Trent Knight get set to take on the Rock and Roll Express. dominant teams in professional wrestling. Robert Gibson, Ricky Morton, the Rock and Rolls for our TV main event.
Oh, and what a match this should be. We heard John Savage and Trent Knight earlier saying they had been waiting for their opportunity to get into the ring with a team like the Rock and Roll Express. Well, Ricky, tonight is it.
It's make or break time. It has got to be a tremendous opportunity. If they could even hold the Rock and Rolls to a draw or upset them on TV, think what that'll do to their national reputation.
That's absolutely correct. You know, the Rock and Roll Express been on a nationwide tour. And Rick, as you know, they have been wrestling in cities all across the country, Chicago, Atlanta, of course, all across the Carolinas here with ACW. And tonight, they are here with us in Taylorsville, North Carolina for our main event on ACW Wrestling. And there you see John Savage. And now let's give John Savage his due. There he saw that he had an opportunity.
These guys are no pushovers. They wouldn't be in the team or in there with the team of the caliber of the Rock and Rolls if they were. I want to remind the fans, 1 week from today, you'll be seeing Pretty Boy Doug Summers. The world's junior heavyweight champion Nelson Royal will defend his title on TV. Plus, Todd Champion, the Outlaw Deaton brothers, and many more. That's all 1 week from today here on Atlantic Coast Wrestling.
All right, right now the upper hand back to the Rock and Roll Express. Robert comes in and right to work on Trent. Trent turns it around, but right back again. It's hard to get the upper hand on Robert.
I tell you, it's been, for Gibson fans, it's been a banner day. Got a chance to see Rick in action, and now Robert and the Rock and Rolls driving deep into the midsection. And we saw almost the same maneuver from Ricky a little bit earlier that set up that big win for him.
That's right. You know, speaking of Ricky Gibson, brothers watch brothers, I guess. He's always interested. I noticed him standing back by the dressing room.
Well, when you got your brother in the
Always
dressing
watching.
room, you got to figure you got somebody to watch you back. Snapmare takedown. Rick Morton, he's a ball of fire, brother. He can hit you with the left, he can hit you with the right.
You know, they say that this man has eyes in the back of his head.
You better believe it. Full vertical suplex. Ricky Morton, a little boogaloo.
You know one thing I enjoy about watching these guys in the ring? They look like they enjoy so much what they do. They are so good at it, and they look like they have a great time doing it.
They do. They're out there for one reason.
There you go.
And that is the reason right there. The fans that love them and support them so much, they mean the world to the Rock and Rolls, and they carry the fans inside the ring with them every time they climb through the ropes.
They are in there representing the fans, and someone told me they are called Carolina's favorite sons, the Rock and Roll Express. And right now, Robert, I think, hurt his hand a little bit on Trent Knight's head. Into the rope.
Teamwork, they've got the count of 5. A good double elbow from the Rock and Rolls, and that's what over the years has made them probably the premier team in pro wrestling, is their ability for teamwork. It seems like they're almost telepathic. They know what the other guy's doing and what he's all about at any given time in the match.
That's right. It's like, they talk about a lot of teams, the two partners know what the other person is doing.